So in telecommunications, the last mile is the customer's premise. You're getting the service to the customer's home, and so you have to run a line from the street to the home and then all of the work within the customer's home.
So when we talk about the last mile, what we do is we have an initial technician go out, we call them a surveyor. They'll go out and kind of get the lay of the land. They'll contact that customer. Obviously that customer's already signed up for service and showed interest. We introduce ourselves, give them a briefing on the process, but they'll go out, they'll make sure there's no obstructions, kind of just go over the layout of where that install is going to be. That information is then inputted into our software system. We get the locates called in. From that point, once those locates clear, we send another drop crew to go out there. Of course, they do all that work. They take pictures of it. We get our quality control to go out there and certify that work, easily send reports at this point to the client, because at this point what we've done is we've been able to go out, survey, look at exactly what that drop length is going to be, ensure there's no obstructions, so when it's the date for that install to actually be completed, we don't miss it. There's no block from us completing that install and the promise that we made the customer. It's extremely important.
We really train our employees and our crews that are out there in the field, showing them where you're going to be on the property and getting pre-approval of how things are going to get done, working with the customer to make sure that they understand that and agree with it before doing the work is really important to the customer. Getting the service to the customer's home is only half the job. Working with that customer to be on their property, make sure that we're running lines the way that they would expect, and working with them from beginning to end, showing them the services that they've received is 50% of the job.
One of the reasons that attracted me to the company, we always put client, the end user first, and really everything else we understood would take care of itself and grow. So what we did was we wanted to focus on having the most talent in our workforce. We wanted to be able to scale, really at a moment's notice. And we wanted to be able to provide every service to a client that we would want. So we really try to put ourselves in their shoes, cover all bases, and then present that to the client. So what you get in that package is you really get a one-stop shop.
For me, National, of course, and I might be biased, but is among the best in the country. My team alone, between admin, just my in-house crew and my managers and supervisors and admin, we have well over 200 years of experience. Some of my admin folks have done nothing except drop berries in their whole career, in their whole lifetime. There's no doubt in my mind that I would put my team up against anyone in the industry as far as in the drop berry world.
National OnDemand is set apart from other companies that do the same type of work due to investment. We invest in our employees. So whether it be safety training, whether it be training on the job, working with them on customer service skills, it takes a lot of investment and you get a high return on that. So it's very important that the technicians doing the work are trained properly and they're trained to work with the customer in customer service.
We see a lot more gamers, we see a lot more vloggers, folks want to upload to YouTube. It takes a lot of bandwidth. In a lot of places, they're taking away the hard cable boxes that we used to have, and they're running smart televisions. So now you used to have cell phones and tablets, laptops. Add your televisions and any kind of entertainment that you have going on in the house. It generally runs through your internet, your broadband service, not to mention smart home devices. So the demand for that increased bandwidth is at an all-time high, and it won't slow down anytime soon.
We have rural America receiving broadband for the first time. That means a lot of underground lines that are being ran. And we also have a lot of areas that are going from redoing the area. So they don't want the aerial lines in the line of sight. They want to put it underground. Therefore, someone has to come in and do the job for that as well.
it's a lifeline for many of them to the internet, telephone service, whatever it may be, and it could be either coax or it could be fiber. Either way, it's definitely a lifeline, especially, you know, with the virus that came upon us so quickly.
A year like we just had with COVID is extremely important, not only for folks who are able to work from home, but now for the students who have to complete their work online as well. So that's where a lot of that demand comes from. We have subcontractors that we partner with that consistently tell us, you know, we've provided them with the best software to be able to manage their businesses, to give them the best direction to be able to perform their job competently and to the quality standards that's expected. Our employees tell us that this is, you know, the best firm they've ever worked for a multitude of reasons.
National OnDemand, I've known the company for quite some time, even before I worked for them. So I knew their dedication and commitment to the industry and where they wanted to go. The company that I previously worked for, we had been in negotiations with National OnDemand for some time, and knowing the players at National quite well, you know, I knew it would be a good fit for the team that I currently had. I just think the company as a whole is driven to be the best, and that's where I wanted to be.
It's interesting. A lot of times we do get calls because the current firms that are performing the work for the client cannot scale up to the size they needed. And we know in this world, the demand changes daily, and there's not, you know, a lot of time to scale up often, but we've built our brand and our company around the ability to do so. So at any given moment, you know, we'll have more resources than needed in any given market, with the understanding that we may potentially get that call, and then we can flood that market with resources, which the headache that takes away from the client can't be measured.
One of our clients, we're currently judged by a report that they use called an SLA report, which is a way for them to track our progress on a day-to-day basis and how long it takes us to put the drop in the ground. In the beginning, it was 14 days, and it gradually went to 10, and then to 7, and now we're at 5 days that we have to have a drop in the ground.
So National OnDemand has crews that can travel. We move with demand nationwide, anytime, anywhere. We invest in training those crews. We do not send technicians into the field that we haven't personally spent time with, our supervisors, our managers, and we also have leadership teams who are part of that travel team. So we do not go into any area to do work without leadership on site.
The feedback that you get from customers when they're able to go to Netflix and see it not buffer for the first time, it's unbelievable. So we see that, and you get more compliments than you ever had before in this business, and that's really exciting because you can see that it really does make a difference.
If you're looking for a reliable company to focus on your success, utilizing teamwork, quality and quantity of work, years of experience, National OnDemand should be your company of choice.